What I'm about to say may shock you. All-you-can-eat buffets are not a thing of the past in Las Vegas. They've just evolved. There's a new trend taking Vegas by storm. It's called the Butler-Style AYCE Buffet. This is already the fourth we reviewed in just 3 months. And I've got to say, this new style is much to my liking. Gone are the dried-out steam trays, long lines, and that inevitable downside of shared access to the food. In their place, smaller selections, sure, but everything's cooked fresh, plated beautifully. Instead of you coming to it, it comes to you, so you can relax and enjoy your company and surroundings. What's not to like? Today, we're checking out another Vegas favorite that's jumped on this trend for the insanely low price of $19.99. Guy Fieri's Vegas Kitchen and Bar at the Link Hotel. We recently tried the AYCE special at Guy's other restaurant, Flavortown, and it was absolutely spectacular. So how does this one compare? Welcome to Let's Eat Vegas, your guide to the good, the bad, and the delicious. I'm a chef who doesn't just eat to live, I live to eat. And as always, you'll get my honest opinion. Okay, let's get started. This dish, well, probably won't be winning any beauty contests anytime soon, what with its wilted cilantro and tired deflated egg. But what it lacks in appearance, it more than makes up for in flavor. Right off the bat, I noticed something different from Flavortown. There, the plates are gigantic and overflowing. Here, the plates are miniature versions of typical entree plates, probably a quarter the size. Now, is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. Since this is an all-you-can-eat deal, smaller portions actually make sense. You can sample more dishes and keep ordering to both your heart and stomach's content. The Motley Que Chilaquiles start with Guy's made-from-scratch tortilla chips, tossed in his flavorful salsa roja, fire-roasted poblanos, pulled pork, avocado crema, and crumbled cotija cheese. In typical Guy Fieri fashion, this little dish packs a ton of flavor. It's topped with a fried egg, but no runny yolk spilling over the chilaquiles. If it had had that, this dish would have been flawless. Salsa roja has deep roots in Mexican cooking, dating back centuries. Originally made with roasted tomatoes, garlic, and dried chilies, it became a staple across Mexico for its versatility, used in everything from enchiladas to huevos rancheros. Here, Guy's version keeps that tradition alive with just the right amount of tang and spice. The chips are nicely coated, still a bit crisp around the edges, and each bite delivers a satisfying mix of textures and flavors, crunchy, creamy, smoky, and rich. Even with a smaller plate, this dish leaves a big impression. I've always loved how Guy builds flavor into his salads. He knows how to balance tangy, sweet, and smoky notes so every bite pops. It's a Southwestern-style mix of greens, black beans, and corn tossed in a dressing that has just the right amount of tang to offset the sweetness from his bourbon brown sugar barbecue sauce. You'll notice Guy's signature touch, either crispy fried onions or jalapenos. In this case, he went with the fried onions, and they steal the show. They add crunch in contrast to the soft greens and smoky dressing. I'm also catching plenty of cilantro in the mix, which gives it that fresh, herbaceous lift, ties everything together. It's a small salad, but big on flavor. Between the creamy dressing, the crunch, and that sweet, spicy barbecue glaze, it's the kind of dish that reminds you why Guy's food is always full of personality. Cheese dips have been a party favorite since the early 1900s, when Tex-Mex cuisine began blending Mexican flavors with American comfort food. The first versions of chili con queso, meaning chili with cheese, originated in Texas, often made with white cheese, roasted peppers, and tomatoes. Over time, it evolved into countless regional versions, from chunky skillet dips to the silky smooth style we see in restaurants today. Grilled corn with super melted cheese, charred poblanos, jack cheese, applewood smoked bacon crumbles, and of course, jalapenos. You had me at cheese. I just love these handmade tortilla chips. They're sensational. The cheese is molten and lava hot, so please be careful when digging into this. Use some caution. There's so many background flavors going on in here. The bacon almost reminds me of a rich, smoky chorizo sausage, and little pops of corn add a hint of sweetness. I do wish the cheese were a little less runny. It'd be more fulfilling and enjoyable to eat if it didn't pour off the chip onto the table before you have a chance to get it into your mouth. You know what would be great? If you could give the deflated eggs from the chilaquiles the runniness of this cheese dip, and vice versa. Voila! 2 dishes improved in one fell swoop. Still, overlooking the texture and my cleaning bill, the flavor is there and I'm enjoying it. And if you're enjoying our videos, please subscribe. I know it sounds incredible, but according to YouTube, 80% of you watching right now are not subscribed. What? Subscribing is free, helps us grow and to bring you more reviews. And if you find value in our reviews, consider making a small donation using the link to buy me a coffee in the description area below. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'd also like to welcome new members to our channel, Phil K and Bud K. And thank you, Jordan, for the gift. We greatly appreciate you all for the support. Biscuits and gravy date back to the late 1800s in the American South, where farmers needed a cheap, hearty breakfast to fuel their long days in the fields. It started with simple ingredients: flour, fat, milk, and sausage drippings, and became a Southern comfort food classic that's now beloved nationwide. I absolutely love the biscuits and gravy at Flavortown. In fact, they may be the best I've ever tasted. So this would be a test of Guy's Vegas kitchen. Well, they're good, very good, but not quite as wonderful as Flavortown. I'd give those a 10 out of 10. These are a close second. I found Flavortown to be creamier and richer. Still, the gravy here is savory and the bacon adds a warm, smoky flavor. The gravy is well seasoned, nice and peppery, or maybe that's the jalapenos on top. A few bites and it's nearly gone. The biscuits are absolutely perfect, made in-house with real buttermilk and butter, just like Mom used to make. I may have to order a second one, but we'll see, filling up fast. It's so tiny, I can't help it. Playing in my head is Peggy Lee's hit classic, "Is that all there is?" This ramekin's barely bigger than one of those ketchup cups they give you on the side. At Flavortown, Guy's mac and cheese is next level. Loaded with barbecued pork, rich, creamy, and absolutely crave-worthy. Here, it's just okay. Not bad, but not nearly as cheesy or as indulgent. I do love the little fried onion straws on top. They give it some crunch and personality. But overall, this version feels like it's missing that over-the-top Guy Fieri punch. So Peggy Lee would say we need to keep on dancing. Pulled pork has deep roots in American barbecue, especially in the South, where pitmasters slow-cooked pork shoulder over wood coals until it was tender enough to shred with a fork. The technique dates back centuries and became a symbol of Southern hospitality and backyard cookouts. Sliders, on the other hand, started as small, greasy burgers sold by White Castle in the 1920s, but over time evolved into gourmet mini sandwiches served everywhere from pubs to fine dining restaurants. This could very well be the smallest slider I've ever eaten. It's actually more of a slip than a slide, and absolutely dwarfed by a mountain of fried potatoes. The slider itself is made with tender pulled pork shoulder smothered in that sweet bourbon brown sugar barbecue sauce. Underneath the pork sits a bright citrus slaw, pickled chips, and melted cheddar cheese. I love the homemade crispy fried onion straws. They make everything better. On the menu it says it includes donkey sauce. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Well, I'm hoping no donkeys were harmed in the making of it. The slider comes on a fresh pretzel bun. It's more steamed than toasted, giving it a soft, pillowy texture that yields perfectly with each bite. The pork has a wonderful smoky flavor that makes me want to come back and try the full-size version. Again, the only downside is the size. It reminds me of a Costco sample. But fortunately, this is all you can eat, so you can order as many as you like. Now let's talk about those fries. There's a mix of two kinds. One is this new Frankenstein fry made from mashed potatoes pressed into a waffle shape, then fried into a crispy chip-like bite. The others are thick, crinkle-cut fries. All are freshly made, not frozen, and cooked to golden perfection. Everything on this plate screams comfort food done right. The classic American breakfast, of eggs, bacon, sausage, and potatoes has roots in the early 1900s when hotels and diners began offering hearty morning plates to fuel workers for the day. It quickly became the country's signature start to the morning. Well, here you get 2 eggs any style. I asked for them scrambled, and wow, these have been massacred. They look like cottage cheese, they're so overcooked. I once had a guy working for me who couldn't cook scrambled eggs to save his life. He told me, after we hired him, that he was fired from his previous job because during a breakfast rush, he decided to save time by cracking open every egg in the restaurant and frying them all at once so they'd be ready to go. Needless to say, they came out dry and terrible, just like these, and he was fired that same day. I may have to check on the way out to see if he's lurking in the kitchen. I knew it. Anyway, I digress. I'm sure if I'd said something, they would have happily remade them for me. Always speak up if your food isn't right at any restaurant. But for the sake of being brutally honest in this review, I'm taking the eggs as they came, and they're every bit as bad as I expected. Now, let's talk about the good stuff. The sausage, pork, and sage breakfast links are absolutely fantastic. I assume they're one of Guy's, as he's known for his sausage making and has a company selling his full line. Rich, juicy, and full of flavor, I could eat 100 of these things. The bacon is beautiful as well. Excellent quality applewood smoked bacon, perfectly crisp, salty, and smoky, just how I like it. And a perfect companion to this almost perfect breakfast plate. Caesar salad has a colorful backstory, one of those accidental strokes of genius. It began in a hotel restaurant just like this, though not in Vegas. It was born in Tijuana, Mexico in 1924. Italian-born chef Cesar Cardini created it in one busy 4th of July weekend when his kitchen was running low on ingredients. He tossed together what he had on hand: romaine lettuce, eggs, Parmesan, olive oil, and Worcestershire sauce, and served it tableside. That simple, accidental invention has become one of the most iconic salads in the world. A true Caesar always features anchovies or anchovy paste for that deep, savory umami flavor. I hate to say this, but the Caesar salad here is not good. I don't know what happened. It says Guy's homemade dressing on the menu. Well, I've had Guy's Caesar at several of his other restaurants, and it was fantastic. At Flavortown, I'd put it at the top of my list, ranking it higher than almost any other Caesar in Vegas. It's a true Caesar made with anchovy, lemon, and every wonderful element I love and expect in this classic. But this one tells another story. The dressing tastes like it came from a bottle. The shredded cheese tastes cheap and processed. I'm not digging it at all. From my own restaurant experience, I can attest that a well-made Caesar salad is one of those foods that can bring people to tears. Well, in my opinion, this Caesar could as well, but for all the wrong reasons. Hopefully, it's just an off day and not what they usually serve. We asked to speak to the manager, but he was nowhere to be found. Oh well. If you ever get to Flavortown, do yourself a favor and try their Caesar. If you come here, try this one and tell me what you think. And if you don't like it, don't eat it. At Guy's Kitchen, they have upcharge items, which they call add-ons. Each add-on is $10 extra. And this is a bargain. Considering off the main menu, you'd pay well over the price of the buffet plus the additional $10. The menu says it's a 6-ounce New York strip, but it looks bigger to me. They got the eggs just right this time, though. Maybe they just struggle with scrambled eggs? And I'm looking forward to those runny yolks. The potatoes are nice and crisp, topped with Guy's secret seasoning blend, probably paprika, garlic, salt, and pepper. Ah, a perfectly cooked egg. What a beautiful sight. How do you like your eggs? Let me know in the comments. I'm being careful not to get the rich yolk on my steak so it doesn't interfere with the meat's natural flavor. This steak is very tender. I could probably cut it with a butter knife. It's rare, juicy, and absolutely delicious. I've had some pretty expensive steaks on the strip that don't compare in flavor to this one. The sear is perfect, smoky, charred, and full of beefy richness. I'm coming back here just for the steak alone. It's a very good deal, only $10 extra. If you were to order the 10-ounce steak off the main menu, it would cost $48.99. So you're ahead of the game, getting all you can eat and just paying the extra $10. If I weren't filming, I'd order another plate without hesitation. The Reuben sandwich has a bit of mystery behind it. Some say it was created in Omaha, Nebraska by a grocer named Reuben Kulikovsky in the 1920s. Others insist it was born in New York City at Reuben's Delicatessen, where Broadway stars gathered after shows for late-night bites. Either way, it's become a deli classic, known for its layers of corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing on grilled rye. This Reuben is a thing of beauty. If you were to ask an adolescent pile of corned beef what it wants to be when it grows up, it would surely say, a Guy Fieri Reuben. Clearly Instagram worthy, and it's huge. I'm loving the $10 upgrades here. This is just fantastic. Tied together with what might be the longest toothpicks I've ever seen, there's a greater chance of being impaled with these than of this sandwich accidentally toppling over. The colors are gorgeous, especially the bright purple cabbage kraut. It reminds me of my mom's rote kohl, which she made with every German meal we had as a kid, and was later something I served at my restaurant. Most people don't know red cabbage adds a touch of sweetness, and in this case, balances the saltiness of the meat perfectly. It's served on a delightful marble rye, pan-toasted in butter for that richness only butter can provide. The Gruyere cheese is, in my opinion, the king of Swiss cheeses. Its refined cousin, aged longer and with a deeper, nutty flavor that melts beautifully. This Reuben is righteous, all right, and sassy, with Guy's spicy sauce, an extra twist I didn't see coming, but absolutely adore. I asked for a side of Guy's fantastic homemade ranch, and it lives up to the expectations of what a Guy Fieri ranch should taste like. Complimented the fries wonderfully. Don't miss this off-the-hook good sandwich. You're gonna love it, and you'll thank me later. Long before Elvis made it famous, the combination of peanut butter, bacon, and banana was pure Americana. Waffles themselves date back to the Middle Ages in Europe, but the Belgian waffle, light, crisp, and airy, didn't hit America until the 1964 World's Fair, where it became an instant breakfast star. As for the Elvis connection, legend has it that the king loved his peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwiches so much they became his signature comfort food, often fried in butter until golden. Here, Guy Fieri gives that rock and roll combo a playful spin. The waffle is light and airy, the kind that's so good it could stand alone with just syrup. The bacon steals the show, sweet, crispy, almost like pork candy. The second waffle is topped with peanut butter and banana, and while it's interesting, the flavors blend a little too much for me. I don't hate it, but the waffle itself is the real star, and I felt the other ingredients muddied the waters. Again, now back to the AYCE menu, this is a very small portion. Think Costco's sample size. But it's packed with personality. I'd love to know what you think. Elvis worthy or better left simple? Now, if you happen to be celebrating a birthday, let your server know. We'll bring out a scoop of fantastic vanilla ice cream topped with homemade caramel and fresh whipped cream. This isn't just any vanilla. It's one of the best in the city. Rich and creamy with that old school soda fountain flavor. The caramel is buttery and smooth, and the whipped cream tastes as though it was made just moments before. Quick bit of trivia. Ice cream has been part of birthday traditions in America since the early 1900s. But ice cream parlors became the place to celebrate special occasions. And if you've ever told a restaurant it's your birthday just to score dessert, well, you're in good company. Thank God I don't age a year every time I say it's my birthday. I'd be giving Methuselah a run for the history books. So there you have it. Don't believe all the negativity about Las Vegas and its buffets going the way of the dodo. Instead, it's more like the phoenix rising from its ashes, as a fun and exciting revolution is taking place in Las Vegas. It's a new wave of Butler-Style all-you-can-eat experiences, and there's more and more of them popping up every day. The old-school buffets may have faded, but in their place, we're seeing something even better, more refined, and more personal. Instead of endless trays under heat lamps, you get focused menus made fresh to order and brought right to you while you sit back and enjoy the experience. It's a shift from the ordinary to the extraordinary. And honestly, I am all for it. Guy Fieri's Vegas Kitchen and Bar delivers a fun, flavorful, and sometimes unpredictable all-you-can-eat experience that's well worth the $19.99 price tag. The portions are small by design, which lets you explore more of the menu without feeling stuffed. And that's part of the charm. Some dishes, such as the add-ons like the Righteous Reuben and the steak and eggs, are absolute home runs, showing off Guy's knack for bold flavors and big personality. Others, like the Caesar salad and mac and cheese, today miss the mark. The overall experience feels like a culinary roller coaster. A few dips, plenty of highs, and always entertaining. Between the smoky barbecue flavors, playful twists like the Elvis waffle, and touches of old-school comfort food, this all-you-can-eat deal brings a lot of value and a taste of Guy's signature over-the-top style. For $20, you can't beat it. We'll be back to Guy Fieri's Vegas Kitchen and Bar soon. Who knows, maybe you'll see us there. And don't forget to tell them, Let's Eat Vegas sent you. This would be a good time to hit the notifications bell so you get a reminder when the next review becomes available. And of course, it's always a good time to like, subscribe, comment, or share. It's free to do so, and it helps us to grow and to bring you more reviews. Until we eat again, bon appetit!